Dynamic blessings to you and welcome to my IG Live. I'm going to be with the doctor, Joseph Michael Levery, and I'm going to bring him on in just a moment. But as you guys are all situating yourself in the IG Live conversation room, I'll let you know who he is. He's a scholar, a composer, an author, an international speaker whose music, lectures, and writings speak to harnessing the deep healing power of unconditional love, global peace, and embracing service to others. He's the leader of the hashtag Love Heals movement, a global broadcast and healing meditation event dedicated to positively shifting human consciousness. I had the privilege and the honor to being a part of one of these major global events. He's the founder of Nam Yoga LA, whose mission is to empower people to improve their lives and heal themselves, and to support them in the process of balancing the mind-body-spirit connection. He's the author of 7 books, producer of over 45 albums comprised of mathematically produced healing vibrations. You can learn more about my brother, who I love so much, at josephmichaellevery.com. That's Levery.com. Joseph Michael Levery. Let's bring him on. And thank you all for tuning in. And there's my brother. How are you, Dr.
I'm
Beck?
doing amazing. How are you?
Outstanding. Now,
It is a joy to see you.
and to see you. Listen, is that a virtual background behind you? Or is that a real background behind you?
It's kind of a real background.
The ocean. The ocean is actually behind you.
No, actually, the ocean is just right there on my left hand side. Here we go.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, where are you right now?
I'm in Santa Monica right now.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, I'm
Yeah.
here in Los Angeles / Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And it's good to have you on this IG Live. I know what I'm thinking about. I let everybody know your bio already. They know who you are.
Yeah.
Get to some dialogue, but I'm just reminded of the time that we were on that plane together.
That was amazing.
We were coming from New York. Is that where we were coming from?
That's correct. We're coming from New York.
Yeah. And you dropped something in my lap. And anyway, we began a nice, wonderful dialogue about consciousness and love and beauty and the participation, the evolution of one's growth and unfoldment. And we've kind of been like soul brothers ever since.
Yes, it was an amazing ride together. You were so wonderful.
Absolutely. And I'm still using Zell, the supplement you turned me on to.
Yes.
Do you still use that yourself?
Yeah, I do. It's a very, it just has this capacity to work on the human body in such a way that, you know, it supports our process, it supports the immune system, it just helps the body regenerate. It's really good supplement.
I take it just about every day.
Yeah.
And I know it's anti-cancerous, and it gives all the vitamins and minerals, and so every time I take it, I think about you.
Oh.
Because you're the one who told me about it, and subsequently I've told many other people about it as well.
Oh, this is sweet.
Yeah, but tell us a little bit. I know that you're the founder of the hashtag Love Heals movement, and you had me participate in that global event with you. How did that come into being, and what is its mission?
A world without love is like a candle without fire. And I think we've gotten to a place in the world where love is so needed. It's just like the missing element. So the Love Heals movement is just creating the platform in order to just spread love around, for us to come together. We're trying to just, get to a place where we have to realize that we need to move beyond the illusion, the false illusion of separateness, that the false conditioning is causing all of us, or most of us, to just go through. We need to move through the illusion of separateness so that we may realize that we are all interconnected. It's the same human family, the same, all of us are living in this big house that we call the world. And that realizations will bring us together, because where there is love, there is light, because love is the mother of light. And where there is light, you cannot find any darkness. And this world of ours needs so much love right now.
Yeah, it's so necessary. I mean, there's so much seeming turmoil going on right now. You have the COVID-19 pandemic. You have the rising up of the acknowledgement of racial injustice and seeking to push the needle forward into progress and policy changes and reform and shifting a narrative from inferior and superior peoples to we're really one from the same source. All of this is all happening at one time.
Yes.
What is your view on what's going on in the world right now? How do you see the changes?
What we are experiencing is a very interesting phenomenon. Everything that is not based upon love, everything that is not based upon wisdom, everything that is not based upon truth is collapsing. So the divine laws of love, of wisdom and truth, that love that gives us life, that the wisdom that gives us light, the truth that gives us freedom, are manifesting themselves. So what we're seeing right now, all of the disturbances, they are a reflection of our collective state of consciousness. So those things, all the structures that are not based upon love are collapsing. All the structures that are not based upon wisdom are collapsing. All the structures that are not based upon truth, they are all collapsing, and nobody can do anything about it. So the universe is trying to create balance, because we have violated the laws of nature. We have violated the mineral kingdom. We've violated the vegetable kingdom, the animal kingdom. We are not nice with each other. We have not realized the sacredness of life. We have not realized how interconnected we are. We have not realized that every human being has the breath of life within themselves, which is so sacred. So we're being forced, whether we like it or not, to embrace love.
Right. And obviously you're speaking about the way we have denigrated the oceans and the rainforests and the very soil itself. And the way we've eliminated so many species from the earth. We're less than 1% of all the species, but we've eliminated so much of the species of the planet through the collective greed and materialism and consumerism. And so you're speaking about all of that coming to surface right now.
Yeah. Yes, because we've moved so far away from the heart. We've moved so far away from the soul. We moved so far away from the spirit that all of the disturbances are associated with moving away from light, moving away from everything that brings us together, everything that elevates us, are just collapsing in order to raise our consciousness. So actually, all of these events, what happened in the universe is there is no event that happens which does not have a spiritual essence. Every physical manifestation has a spiritual essence. So any manifestation we are faced with come to raise our consciousness and actualize our higher nature. Right. So the universe uses various means in order to create balance and remove stagnations. So the way we've been living our lives, the way we've been thinking and feeling, the way we've been speaking and acting, and our attitude toward each other, toward nature, and even toward ourselves has not been as healthy and has not contributed to a positive evolution of humankind. So the universe comes in order to create balance and then just remove any form of stagnations so that we may raise our consciousness and embrace what is important, which is the power of love, which brings us together and give us the life and the light, and then wisdom so that we may have the light in order to find our ways, and then freedom, because the soul is always longing for freedom.
Absolutely. One of the things I've been saying, and I think this goes along with what you're talking about here, is that we're in an apocryphal moment, and that one of the meanings of the apocalypse is called lifting the veil, which is the name of our dialogue, our conversation, so we could actually see things that were hidden before. So when the current occupant of the White House was first selected or elected by the Electoral College, I remember telling the people that he was an evolutionary trigger, that he was going to actually show what's being hidden in the collective psyche of our society. And that's basically happened. And all the things that are going on now, you're finding people waking up to what people of color have been experiencing for a long period of time. It's no longer hidden. It's now seen, so that once something is seen, it can be healed. We can rise to the level of what you're talking about. We can rise to the level of love. We can rise to the level of expanding our awareness. We can rise to the level of having a greater vision. We can rise to the level of walking toward that vision, so that the collective consciousness changes. Whereas before, if you don't see it, you kind of ignore it. Now we can't ignore anything. You can't ignore what we're doing to Mother Nature. You can't ignore what people are doing to each other in a very inhumane way. None of that can be ignored now. So something has to happen, you see.
This is so true. It's what is happening is so interesting because it's a high opener. What is happening is awakening us, so that we may move beyond our
the IG kind of got stuck a little bit. So, okay. We're going to bring Michael back right this moment. We lost Michael. We need to bring him back. Where's Marissa? We're going to get Michael back right this moment. Kind of froze and then he disappeared. There it is.
Yes.
I thought the beach took you away.
I know.
But it got stuck for a moment and then you disappeared. So finish that last thought again. You were onto something.
I was saying that we have to do something about our sense of identity. As human, we have a tendency to help people we identify with. If we identify with our family, we only help our family. If I identify with people of our country, they're the only one we help because we can relate to them. If we identify with a particular continent, they're the one we help. So our sense of identity is extremely limited. And we're moving in an age now where we have to expand our sense of identity. We need to identify with the entire human family. By identifying with the entire human family, the human family become an extension of us, so we don't have a problem with anything that is an extension of us. Right. So identity is so important, and many people in various circles, spiritual circles, are always talking about identity, 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 but we need to expand our identity to the human family so that we may realize that we are all interconnected, and then we may then manifest the scriptures. Not only should we love thy God with all thy, thy heart, thy soul, and thy power, and thy mind, but we have to love thy neighbor as thyself. That in that way, all of the walls that we've created between ourselves, which are completely false, coming from false identifications, coming from false conditioning, can just fall down and melt away. And also the other thing we need to do is our sense of environment. We have not realized that it is impossible for us to be happy if people who are in our environment are unhappy. Right. The environment is so powerful that if I come home and the people at home are not happy, there is no way for me to be happy. If I extend my home to the entire world,
Right.
If unhappiness is somewhere in the world, it's just a matter of time for it to come to us. So we need to extend our sense of environment, and then just think about extending our loving kindness to others in our surrounding, so that we may create a platform for a world that is full of love and full of light. We have to light the way for others, and this is so needed.
Absolutely. What you're doing, you're talking about expanding the definition of neighbor. To love
Yes.
your neighbor as yourself, that's not just the individual of your own kin or in your
Yes.
own local neighborhood. The word neighbor expands to every being on the planet, every sentient being and all species. It's all our neighbor in the world house called planet Earth. And we have to expand our little tiny myopic perception to actually embrace everyone as our neighbor. And then as we treat our neighbor as ourself, then you're talking about bringing humanity, bringing the human back into humanity. You're talking about bringing love, the love ethic back. And so this is where obviously spiritual practice is all about, to lift us to that level. Now you're the founder of Nam Yoga right here in LA.
Yes.
And you bring around, you bring music, you bring yoga and teachings to assist people in, one, becoming integrated with their expanded identity, and then two, to be able to embrace everyone is a light, a flame from the central flame of all creation, but not as a metaphor, but as reality, you see.
Yes.
And this is what you know, and this is what I know. It's not merely prose or poetry, metaphor. This is real. The fact that we are all flames of the eternal light of the cosmos, you know. But so many people, their perception is just so small, and they're seeking to live in that small perception and eke out happiness, and that's an impossibility.
Yes.
This is where you're bringing us, brother.
No, it is so important for us to be able to raise our consciousness, and this is where spirituality comes in. Because eventually, once you get to that stage, then eventually you express that spirituality in the form of making a difference in other people's lives. But working on ourselves is so important. Spirituality should be directed to making ourselves better. Because by improving ourselves, we improve humankind. By improving ourselves, making ourselves better, we make humankind better. And by serving others, the divine will serve us. We're making a difference in other people's life. But spirituality should be expressed. I mean, practicing yoga is good and doing all of this, going to the gymnasium. But the most important thing, it is not good until you change your thought process. It's not good until you improve your thought. Until your thought becomes a blessing to yourself, your neighbor, to the entire world. It's not good until your feelings are healing to yourself and others.
Yes.
It's not good until your word are uplifting to others. Until your word bring people together, uplift them, breathe life into them. Spirituality is not good until your actions are actions of light. Spirituality is not good until your attitude is uplifting others. It's treating people as the manifestation of the great architect of the universe. So the way we think, the way we feel, the way we speak, the way we act, and the way we behave can contribute to a positive evolution of humankind, can uplift us, can raise our consciousness, and eventually we become a force for good in the world. We can become a blessing to the community, a blessing to the world, a blessing to all those who cross paths with us. So our thoughts are important, especially now because of all the trauma that people are going through. The global pandemic is so devastating in the impact that it is having on the mind, the mental world, the way we think, the way we feel, our emotions. So there's a lot of traumatic emotion going on. People are going through tremendous emotional trauma. And if we don't do something about it right now, it's going to have drastic consequences in the years to come. It's not only mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and energetic disturbance that most people are going through. So this needs to be addressed. So we have to do something about this emotional trauma. And we cannot do anything about it without a spiritual practice, especially the breath. Because the mind, which is the root of every problem, the root of all disease, all physical disease or physical manifestation, is a manifestation of a mental condition. And in order to control the mind and have a sense of balance as we're going through this global pandemic, we have to be able to have a relationship with the sacredness of the breath, which is the first thing we took when we were born. Because the mind always follows the human breath. So the breath is the king of the mind. So if we can control our mind through our breath, we can control our reality, we can control our emotional life, we can control our feelings, we can control the relationship that our beautiful heart, which is the seat of love and light, is having with our brain, which allows us, our brain, which is our command center. Because once we take care of our frontal lobe, which is the difference between, the fifth group of species that was born in the African land when human was created by the nature in the motherland, there were 6 species. The difference between the 3 last species is the frontal lobe. When we control the frontal lobe, then we stop sabotaging ourselves and others.
Absolutely. Now, what most people basically don't understand is that their mind basically has been imprinted and basically has a whole lot of debris there that has been garnered from the 5 senses. So the mind has been programmed not by ourselves, it's been programmed by the world, by heredity, by socialization, by whatever is popular going on in the world, and people are just living from that debris rather than living from their soul. So when you talk about breath work and learning how to work with the breath, and then you're dealing with the breath, you're dealing with different spiritual practices, you begin to program your own mind. So
that is correct.
So the mind becomes an avenue of awareness of truth rather than just imprinted, and then leads to a level of fear and doubt and worry and anxiousness and anxiety and worst case scenarios. And that's where so many people live. So it comes back to spiritual practice.
Yes.
Which is what we're about.
Spiritual practice is so important to take care of our emotional life, to take care of our feelings, to take care of, because the way we feel determine how we're going to think and what we're going to do. So we have to be able to control our feelings in a way that is healthy. But we will never be able to control our feelings until we control our emotional life, our emotions. And emotions, which is emotions, which is energy in motions,
right?
Emotions are energy based. So in order for us to change the energy, the emotional energy that we're going through, we need to have access to the human breath. And that has not to do with how much breath a person can take, but it has to do with bringing rhythm in our breath, because rhythm is the father of nature. And sound, which is the mother of light, is the mother of nature. When we bring rhythm to our breath, then the sound of our breath, which is the voice of our soul, will change. When the sound of our breath changes, and sound as the mother of light, and the breath, which is the seat of human consciousness, then our physiology is improved or shift in a way that is healthy. When our physiology shifts, our emotional life will shift. Then our feelings are completely in control. As a result, our heart, since the beat of the heart, the rhythm of the heart is the beat of the heart is the rhythm of the soul. By taking care of our heart, we take care of our brain, and eventually, like Mystic says, we start thinking with our heart, because the heart sees better than the eyes,
right?
And then feeling with our brain.
Right. And the heart has more brain neurons than the brain itself.
That is correct.
So ultimately, we do want to think with our heart. We want to lead with our heart space, which is breaking down any sense of separation and allowing us to see life as it really is, rather than the misguided perceptions that we're carrying. This is exactly what we're trying to bring home to all of the people that are listening to us right now. Now,
it's beautiful. I mean, the questions, you have no idea how happy I am just having this conversation with you, because it's incredible. And the beauty of bringing in the spiritual technology that the lineage I come from, which uses sound vibrations as a means of shifting the vibration, because it is through vibration that things grows, things are born through vibrations, things grow through vibration, and things are destroyed through vibrations.
right.
So vibration can generate health or disease. By knowing what to do with vibrations, it is possible to shift our vibrational frequency with sound vibrations in such a way to create a platform for balance, a platform to bring the mind in a place where we stop sabotaging ourselves and others.
Right. Now you have CDs that do exactly that from a mathematical, spiritual point of view, that when you listen, because you gave me a set of them, when you listen to them, then they have the efficacy to actually shift our vibration by just being immersed in that sweet music that you produce. And you're doing this specifically to raise the vibration and to expand consciousness. Am I correct?
You're completely right, because the music is produced mathematically, because music is mathematic. Music is not only the language of the heart, it's not only the language of God, and the language of God is love. And when it is produced mathematically, it has the impact even just by listening to it, because the ears, which correspond to wisdom, the eyes correspond to truth, and the mouth to love. But the ears are the entrance to our nervous system, our sense of equilibrium, and certain various important system in our body. The ears just take us straight into it. By listening to the music, it is possible to just have such beneficial impact on the human body, and that's why some of the music was medically and scientifically proven in the Sloan Kettering Hospital for children who have cancer. It has been found to reduce the pain of children with cancer to a certain level just by listening to the music, just through the ears that go through the nervous system and the various systems of the body. This can be accomplished. Yes, music is a science. When the person that produces music knows how to work with rhythm, which is the father of nature, and then sound, which is the mother of nature, and bring them together a certain way, miracles can happen.
Absolutely. Now, before we go on, because I know we're going to, after we finished here, we're going to complete this interview on the Zoom, and then that's going to be on my app. But I want you to tell people, where were you born? Where are you from?
I'm from the Ivory Coast.
Yes.
I was born in the Ivory Coast. Of course, I come from a very, 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 very spiritual family. It was quite interesting to be born in a very spiritual family. My childhood was completely quite interesting. It was unusual, but I wouldn't miss it for anything.
Right,
so I spend
and you have
with all the spiritual gifts that you have. With all the amazing spiritual gift that you have, I'm standing on the shoulders of some great mystics, and it is because of their love and their sacrifice that I can stand here today, and then shine the light through.
Absolutely. Now tell people how they can be in touch with you, and when they go to your website, can they get your music?
Yes, they can. The easiest way, they can either go to rootlight.com, or they can go straight to josephmichaelbbeckwith.com. They'll find anything that they can about me. Or they can go, actually, the best thing, they can go on Instagram. Instagram is, I'm still learning all these things. Instagram is D as in David, R as in Robert, .levery, L-E-V-R-Y.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Well,
I have to tell you, I'm really enjoying this interaction, because you're my brother and I love you so much, and I so enjoy the amazing work that you're doing and the difference you're making in so many people's lives, and you're doing it so from the heart, and all we do is to serve others, to make a difference in their lives. That's all we can do, and doing it with so much joy.
We're planting seeds and lifting vibration, and what people don't understand sometimes, it's a joy to serve. It's a joy to be a vehicle for the presence of God. It's like the bliss and the ecstasy comes in service. You know, there's no, I'm going to get bliss at the end of the rainbow. It's in the moment of serving that the bliss is right there. It's the activation of your potential. So I love my life. I love what I get to do. And I know you love your life. And I know.
Oh, it's just beautiful. People always ask me, how do I find divine love? And I say to them, divine love comes after service.
Yes.
At the moment a person starts serving, which is an extension of giving, then the manifestation of the greatest law of the universe, which is loving, just is bestowed upon them in their lives.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to sign off here.
Okay.
Because when we go to the next level of the interview, I want you to talk about Nam Yoga.
Okay.
A little bit more about your music. I want to talk a little bit more about your beginnings. And just to bring a little bit more light to who you are and some of the things that you're doing. So, Joseph, Dr. Joseph Michael Levery, thank you so much for being with me today. Absolutely appreciate you. Absolutely love you, brother. And I'll be talking with you shortly.
I so appreciate you. I love you very much. Thank you. Bye.
God bless. So listen, everybody. That was Dr. Joseph Michael Levery, beautiful soul, founder of Nam Yoga. And I hope you enjoyed the interview. We try to keep these Instagram interviews, conversations around 20, 30 minutes. And then we do the bonus on my app to go a little bit longer. We found that sometimes people, they need a little bite-sized information. They don't want to go on for an hour or so. So when you go to my app, you go to michaelbbeckwith.tv, subscribe to the app, and then go to the app store. Beckwith Inspires, then download the app. And then you'll have an opportunity to see different moments of inspiration, things behind the scenes, extra points of the conversation of interviews. I'll be doing a virtual 3-day meditation during the month of October. You'll be able to sign up for that and be a part of that. I'll be doing a 1-day meditation shortly that's going to be free, just to help people come out of the fear and come into a deeper sense of who they are. You'll discover that on the app as well. That will be announced shortly. So other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be starting a class at Agape's University this month in about 3 weeks. You may want to go to the website, agapelive.com, sign up for the class. The price is very, very reasonable. And obviously it's going to be online, so everybody around the world can join in. Other than that, I'll see you guys on Sunday at 6:45 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. Those are the meditation times. And the services follow right after that at agapelive.com or my Facebook page or Agape's Facebook page. Shout out again to Dr. Joseph Michael Levery, founder of Nam Yoga, for being with me today. You guys stay strong in the spirit. Don't get caught up in the fear.